Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Taylor. I have had the good fortune to have known Kenny Morrall for the last 47 years of my life. I, along with many people in this room, have grown up in the drum and bugle corps activity, specifically the Kilties, as did Kenny. Growing up in the Kilties, spending so much time together, practicing, traveling, goofing around together, practically living together, causes you to form a bond with each other that is very much like a family. I can proudly say that most of my dearest friends to this day I have known most of my life, and they are my drum corps family. And Kenny, we lost one of that family last week. Kenny began his life in the Kilties as the American flag bearer in 1967. He was a member of the 1968 and 1969 National Championship Corps and continued as the American flag bearer through the 1970 season. And there are many pictures of him doing that here tonight. Recognized for his leadership abilities, he became the drum major in 1972 and served in that capacity through the 1974 season when he aged out of drum corps. Ken was chosen to be drum major because of his leadership skills and because he looked so damn good in that uniform. With the feather bonnet and his mace. I hope you have a chance to see the montage of pictures that are circulating on Facebook. It's Racine Kilties Jr. Facebook, and there's a whole bunch of pictures of Kenny. It's incredible. I was picked to be the directing drum major because I was a cello player who happened to be in the color guard, and the staff didn't want to give up a valuable horn player just to direct music. During that time, I learned a great deal of leadership skills from Kenny, and I learned how to drink Drambuie. Ken was the epitome of class. When everyone else was half out of uniform before or after a performance, Kenny was all buttoned up in his lined wool jacket that weighed about 20 pounds, his feather bonnet on his head, and he was wrapped with a wool tartan because it looked proper, even if it was 85 degrees outside. And I had to follow suit, of course. He led by example. We affectionately called Kenny the stick man, at least some of us did, because he always had that mace in his hand. That was his instrument. I would give him a hard time because my job was to wave my arms with my back to the audience while he carried that darn stick. But he made all the pictures and always represented the Kiltie organization so well. No one else could have led that big V coming down the 50-yard line like Kenny did. I approached some of our old drum corps buddies for insights into their years with Kenny. Those who were members of the Liberty Bells color guard taught by Ken loved him for how he was so respectful of those he taught, even though he was only a few years older than they were. Everyone spoke of his passion for whatever he was involved with at the time. For Ken, the Kilties were a full-time thing, and he fully embraced it. He was the ultimate Kiltie member. He led by example. Following his marching days, he taught a number of color guards in various parts of the country. Again, he was very passionate about bringing out the best in the group. Kenny was working with the 1979 Kiltie Winter Guard after they had a disappointing season and didn't make the Midwest Color Guard Circuit Finals. They worked with Ken and a few other former members to prepare for WGI Winter Guard International competition a few weeks later, and they successfully made the finals. That was a big deal at that time. I was told, and I believe we have the video of this here tonight, Tommy, Kenny, who was not one to outwardly show emotion ever, jumped out of his seat in the stands and screamed. That became known as the Kenny jump. One of our friends recalled how Ken made everyone around him better, both on and off the field, and instilled the Kiltie pride in all who marched with him. Another of our Kiltie family recalled the picture of Ken with the, I thought it was an American flag, but now that I see the picture again, it's just a regular striped flag. It was draped over his head and covering his face, but he still saluted. That picture made it in newspapers all around the country, and we have that here in the scrapbook.
All around the world, Paul.
Yeah, that went all around the world. The Morrall household was a Kiltie haven. Both of his parents were major volunteers with the Kiltie organization. Who can forget Frank's SOS breakfast on Sunday mornings at Kiltie Hall? He lived for those. Or Bob Morrall volunteering for everything under the sun and putting up with all the out-of-town members at their house for weekends or even for the whole season. We all considered the Morrall residence a second home and often took part in that. Kenny was an encyclopedia of drum corps knowledge. Everybody knows that. Both of us being classical music fans, he and I would listen to a piece of music and I would say, that would make a nice drum corps tune. Or didn't some corps play that? He would rattle off not only the corps or corps that played it, but the actual years in which they did that. So, couldn't get one by on him. But the most memorable thing I have to share about Ken's life as a Kiltie was Kenny and Debbie's wedding. There are pictures to prove it. All the male members of the wedding party, who were all former Kilties, were dressed in full Kiltie uniforms with the ladies adorned in a matching plaid tartan. No one else in this world could have pulled that one off. I am very proud to have known Kenny most of my life and call him my friend. Here's to you, Kenny.